I'm Janice Atkinson. I'm the UKIP MEP for the South East of England.
We're hearing that the French Interior Minister is suggesting that British police perhaps should be patrolling the streets of Calais. What's your reaction?
This is just pure political posturing. You've got Francois Hollande, who's the socialist Prime Minister, President over there, arguing with the Conservative Prime Minister in Britain. In Kent, the area that I represent, we've actually lost 200 frontline police officers. So where does Monsieur Hollande think that these policemen are going to come from? You know, there is a reciprocal agreement. We monitor visas for European Union people coming into Britain and vice versa. We cannot have British policemen patrolling the streets of Calais. We just don't have them, and we have no jurisdiction over there.
Isn't the fact that Calais is, shouldn't we accept the fact that Calais is part of our problem, that these people are trying to get to Kent?
Yeah, well, they're trying to get to the UK in effect, because actually it's the benefits problem, because we don't have a contributory system. It's actually a universal benefit system, and that's the problem. I've been over to Calais and I've spoken to many migrants over there, and I asked them, are you actually seeking political asylum? Are you refugees? No, we're economic migrants and we want to come and work in the UK, and that's the problem. We've actually got to stop it at the border, so the Dublin Agreement must be invoked, and they should actually claim asylum if some of them are going to claim asylum in the first country they come to. And that's the first one that they actually appear in is France. Then they're France's problem. It's not our problem.
I mean, the message from the Interior Minister that he says that the British police could help with is that it's impossible to cross the channel, that it might deter people from trying. Isn't that something that would be helpful, given how problematic this issue is and that it's gone on for so long now?
No, as I said, we don't have the police officers in our own country to actually do frontline policing. So the problem is stopping them in the Mediterranean, and it's the pernicious people traffickers that are the problem. A UN report came out in 2011 to say that $32 billion a year was actually raised through people trafficking, and half of that, $15.5 billion, goes straight into terrorist coffers. So it's the people traffickers that we need to stop. And what they're basically saying is, if you board a ship, they give them a satellite phone or a mobile phone for the Coast Guard, they'll come and get you, and you can have safe passage into Britain. And that's the fundamental problem that we have.
What is the solution then? What kind of ideas would you come forward with that are better than this one?
Well, the problem is in this place. For a start, I'm on the Committee for Home Affairs, Migration, etc., and they talk about giving people a free and safe passage. I'm for that where refugees are concerned, but we have got economic migrants, and what we have to do is put barricades up on the borders of Greece and Hungary and Bulgaria where they're coming in, and we have to actually man and put frigates down in the Mediterranean. That's the idea. That will stop them coming, but it is the people traffickers that we actually need to target, and they're the people we should be going for. And in my committee this morning, I was trying to raise that point, and it is the people traffickers that we need to get, and then France needs to deal with the problem on their doorstep, and if they're going to offer them refugee status, that's fine. It's not our problem in England.
Since 2003, the British border has in fact been in Calais rather than in Dover on the White Cliffs. Doesn't that back up the French argument that it's also part of our issue, that if that's where the border with Britain is, that's where British bobbies need to be too?
No, the border was actually set up to enable free traffic of movement from EU states from one to another. We're not part of Schengen. We never signed up to that, so that's why we've got the border police there. This is a problem that has grown exponentially over the past 2 years, and it's basically an economic migrant point of view which we have to address, and it all comes back to the people traffickers.